All right, y'all. Let's talk about Zion Williamson because it seems like we are back in the same spot, the same zeitgeist with Zion Williamson that we were in the 2021-22 season. He had two very poor showings in the in-season tournament quarterfinal against the Sacramento Kings, even though the Pelicans won that game. And he had a very, very poor showing along with the entire team, but in particular Zion Williamson in the semifinals in Vegas against the Lakers. And it was a game that everybody was looking forward to seeing how Zion himself would play in this game. Would the young up-and-coming star embrace the moment, much in the way that Tyrese Halliburton and his team, the Pacers, embraced this whole in-season tournament idea, and now they're playing in the finals today. I'm recording this before the Pacers-Lakers game. Zion Williamson's just disappointing, man. There's no other way to put it. He is a very good player. When he's healthy, he puts up star-level production, but it's just the other things that are just holding him back, and in turn is holding the Pelicans back. He has been clearly out of shape going back to the preseason, and this is with David Griffin and other guys from the Pelicans saying that Zion spent the offseason in New Orleans more than ever before and training harder than ever before, and he just looks out of shape again. And in the Lakers game, that was on full display yesterday. One of the things, just a quick side note, just every time I watch Zion, there was some of this last year, but he was more in shape and he was moving his feet better on defense, though he still, on the aggregate, was a bad defender. It is incredible to watch him try to move on defense because it just looks like he's stuck in wet cement and just can't move, which is crazy to me because he's so quick on offense. He makes such sudden movements and change of direction. Well, at least last year, because this year it just seems like he's lost a lot of explosiveness. He's not elevating to the rim as high as he used to, even last year, let alone his Duke days, and we'll get to his Duke days in a minute. It seems like he's getting his shot blocked more at the rim this year. Now, the last 8 games before these 2 in-season tournament games, he had been getting back to playing like Zion, right? Like, in the 8 games before these past 2 in-season tournament games, he was averaging 26, 5, almost 6 assists per game on nearly 63% shooting, which was kind of in line with his numbers last year when he was in shape and fully healthy. I give him credit last year. He came into the season in shape, and you'll probably see a picture of it that I found up on the screen here. Like, look at how in shape Zion is, and then compare it to this year. It's just clear that he's out of shape, and this has been a reoccurring theme. Of course, with 2 bad showings and a dreadful performance like the one we saw against the Lakers on Thursday, you're going to get some scuttlebutt that comes from the losing organization, right? But it's the same stuff we have been hearing since his rookie year. He's out of shape, his conditioning's bad, and his diet is bad, and that's been a source of frustration for the Pelicans. I'll put a link in the description below, but there's a report from Christian Clark of NOLA.com. It basically illustrated that. It's a quick 2-minute read if you guys want to take a gander at it, but it's the same shit with Zion. And I remember in the 2021-22 season, I made a video talking about maybe it is time for the Pelicans to trade Zion. And I don't know if that was an overreaction. Maybe I did overreact a little bit, especially considering the season he had last year before he hurt his hamstring against the Sixers. But we are back here with the same stuff that caused the genesis for that video that I made. It's just disappointing because, yes, he is a very good player when healthy, but there are steps to take to become that superstar, that clear-cut number one. You are the end-all, be-all. And Zion Williamson just hasn't grabbed a hold of that title yet because of little things like conditioning, dieting. People still don't know if he ultimately wants to be in New Orleans long-term. I mean, he has the contract already, giving a singular iota of a shit on defense. Just some of his effort the last 2 games on defense, and all year really, has just been poor. And that's being generous to him because everything revolves around this guy. The Pelicans have a awesome roster. I talked about it after their in-season tournament win against the Kings, but they have wings across the board, guys who could shoot, guys who can defend at an all-NBA first-team defense type of level. They have a good center in Jonas, versatility across the board, and Zion Williamson, coming out of Duke, was the type of player where it's like, this guy can be versatile. He could be a ball-handling, power forward, and he's been hurt. He's been out of shape a lot. Who knows if being out of shape has led to some of the other injuries he's had the last few years. It's just disappointing because this type of roster would be perfect for any type of, like, say, put the Pelicans roster around Jokic and Murray, Giannis and Dame, Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey, LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Like, basically guys who are in the superstar level echelon, which is what the Pelicans hoped Zion would at least be clearly on the track towards by now. And look, Zion is a very good player when healthy, but this year it just seems like he has lost explosiveness. He is built like a damn offensive lineman. Zion Williamson at Duke was one of the most crazy and insanely athletic basketball players I have seen in my life, point blank period, at any level. It was Blake Griffin-esque. I would even say a little bit more than Blake Griffin. Zion made insane plays. Someone who was built like that, 6'7", what was he at the time? 250, but could move like that, broke a damn shoe in one of his games, made insane blocks, insane 360 reverse dunks in transition. And that Zion has been nowhere near the same since his rookie year. And everybody kind of played it off because, you know, he was injured, had some knee injuries and stuff like that. But he's been struggling with, you know, staying in shape, his conditioning, his dieting. Stuff he talked about on a podcast over the summer, by the way, with Gilbert Arenas and those guys when Zion made an impromptu appearance at the Blue Wire studio at the Wynn Hotel. I don't know what he's personally going through. I know he had some off-season stuff that I won't comment on because I don't give a damn about that, but of course everybody had their attention on that. Maybe that had an impact on him. But here we are again, like I said in that trade video that I made 2 years ago talking about Zion. Zion's not putting up his end of the bargain. And while I think it's shoddy that the Pelicans started leaking some stuff after, you know, the blowout loss to the Lakers, I kind of get it as well. This guy should be clearly in better shape, and he's under contract for 4 more years. So what are the Pelicans going to do? Brandon Ingram's good, but he's not going to be the best player on a championship team. CJ McCollum's good, but he's really just a third option. And also, I'm not so sure CJ should be starting over Trey Murphy in the long run anyway, because I think Trey Murphy's going to be an all-star type player. But the guy that really matters, the guy that'll take him over the top potentially, is your number 1 pick from the 2018 draft, Zion Williamson. He's not doing the other things, the other extra things needed to be great. And I know that's a cliche, but there is a common theme with great players. They keep getting better. And then you get the Instagram post allegedly from Zion's trainer that he worked with over last summer, not this past summer, but last summer. And that was the year he came into great shape, was dominating, made a video about that last year when he was healthy and dominating people. But he's just not the same this year. And he hasn't even played himself into shape. We're 21 games in, and he's sucking wind out there against the Lakers, sucking wind out there against the Kings. Willie Green can't even put him at small ball 5 because he'll just get fucking shredded when the court is spread out. And it's not just that he can't move his feet, but it's just no effort. This is disappointing. I don't know what else to say.